Alright, so in this video what we're going to talk about is we're going to go over the systems file a lot deeper. So I want to actually give you a base understanding of when you're trying to add like your users and stuff like that. Like if you're trying to add any kind of user to security, which is you know, in your runtime security up top, then you need to have them down here in your actual your system. So let's just talk about that for just a second. So you have your policies, which is just base policies that Rockwell has in place. This is not something you need to go toying with or need to go playing with at all. These are policies that they have, and I don't, you know, you don't need to really, this is definitely something that doesn't need to be played with as far as that goes. You have your network communications. Basically, this is just your device. And your network and devices is your RS links setup. So this has your RS links and everything. So if I open up RS links in itself, you would see my RS links coincides with the RS links that is here. So that helps you with that understanding of where your RS links is. Now let's get to the real point of actually what you're going to be using a lot more often is your user groups. And you have your systems, basically your user groups, and you have your users itself. So you can create a user group, like if, say for instance, you created a new user group, and we'll call this group course group, right? So and we'll spell that right. So you don't have to put a description or email or anything like that in here. And we'll come back and add the members later. So what we want to first do is make the group. So there we have our course group here. You definitely do not want to get rid of the authenticated users or admin or anything like that when it comes in. You may not have the same setup I have. I have a couple of different things in here. So just know that you don't want to get rid of that. Okay, so now we'll come to users, and we'll actually, you can do a Windows linked user, which if you come up here, you can choose and come up here if you're connected to like an enterprise, or you're connected to something that like your plant or your facility or wherever you're working has something tied in where you can actually connect stuff through, like there's a core system that knows who you are and knows who everybody is. You can connect it through here. You can actually search out and find your connected users through here. You can go to an advanced and search it out just like you would like adding a printer on your computer. So if you've ever added a printer on your computer, they make it just this simple. Okay, so just note that you can do that. Of course, we don't have that kind of infrastructure in this course. We're basically just going to add a standard user. So go to new, basically right click, go to new, and we'll go to user. And then basically you'll come in and you'll put, we'll put course operator. We'll put course operator for one. And then what I like to do is I like to actually come in and you can fill all the stuff out as far as the name, the description and stuff if that's what you want to do. But I don't generally do that. In this case, I just put ops. And then you can have down here it says you must change the password on the next time you log in. I never check that because honestly that makes the user have to change the password. And again it says that user cannot change password. Honestly, it's up to them if they want to do that. I always check password never expires. And this is just because it's easier for anybody. And honestly, when you're doing a ME station and when you're doing a PanaView Plus implementation on a machine, you're generally not going to be changing the password, every single week or every month or every year. You're going to keep that password pretty much constant the whole time. So I always choose never expires. And if I want to change it, I'll just come back in here and change it whenever I want to. I don't want it to have to automatically change by itself or prompt somebody to actually change it, because that just creates that much more confusion later on. So again, we'll put in a password and we'll keep this simple. We'll just put ops and then we'll confirm it. So we'll just, again, you can actually keep it that simple too if you want to, like in the name. Like if you forget it, you can put the name right here. You can just put down here, right? So, and that just makes it that much simpler. Passwords do not match. So that's probably because I have one. Let's see, ops. I actually pushed the capital on mine. So anyway, so now we have our course operator. We're going to add one more. We're going to have the course. We're going to have the course admin. So we'll have the course admin in here as well. And what we'll do with the course admin is we'll come in here and say admin, and that way you kind of know, and then never expires again, and then admin. We'll just put that as the password. So that way we know exactly what they are, and you can always come in and check that too, right? So now obviously you see we could have changed the added it to a group right here. We can come in and add this person to a group, or we can come in here and we can actually come back up to our user group right here and then add that person in here, right? So right here you see, now if you didn't see that, basically I went to where we added our new group. I opened it up, and then I came down to basically where it said add. Then it comes down to, you only see the basically the authenticated users, or the Windows authenticate or admins. So come down to show all, and then you can see who, what's what. So then I'm going to add the admin in here, and then have that there, right? So say for instance, now if I wanted to actually come back in and actually add the other one in there, I can come back and add the other one as well. So just show all users or show users only. You have several different options, so I'll add both of those in here, and that way I have my course admin and my course operator in my course group, right? So what I can do now, and now that I have these down here, is I can come back up to runtime security and actually add these people into my system. So I can keep the default, that's not hurting anything, the default that's there, and then I can come in and hit add, and then what I want to do is show, I can either do the group and have the group have a set different, have them have these set parameters. But what I like to do even more is I like to show all users and come down here and add these one by one, and then come down and add again. I'll add another one. I'll add my operator in here, and then what I like to do is highlight on top of this and give this person, like, this is my admin, so I want him having everything. And then I want my course operator, I don't want them to have like A, B, or C. Right, so let's just say that, and I don't want default to have A, B, or C either. So the only person I want to have all the full admin rights to everything that I'm doing on this system is I want the admin, the course admin, that person, right? So whoever signs into the system and under course admin, I want them to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and basically go through the whole thing, and they have the full rights to the system. So just know that that is as simple as it is to set up a user and set up a user group. You can choose to use the group if you wanted to do that, but if so, then I would suggest making like an admin group and making a operator group. I like to use the independent people as far as that goes. When I'm adding them. When I'm adding my users, I like to have my users. I don't like to have everything grouped in here. Like I could have put in the group and then put in the group right here, but I don't like to actually have my group. I don't like to do that. I like to have, them singled out right here. So one by one, so I can come down here and itemize who has what and when they have it, right? So if I want to actually delete one, if I accidentally added something and I don't want it there, I can actually come in and hit remove. It will remove it from that system. So now that we have basically our system runtime set up, so this will be the core runtime security that it will be running on the PanaView Plus application. So if in our case, this would be the PanaView 1000, PanaView Plus 1000. Whatever PanaView you're using, just understand that this is the actual security that the runtime file will have. So again, so we'll come down, and now that we have all of our stuff set, right, we have our default, we have our course admin, we have our course operator. We're going to come in and just basically X out of here. It's going to ask us to save the changes to the document. We want to hit yes. So that the next time we come in here, we will actually still have our system. You know, if we would have choose no, then it would have just erased everything we just did. So we don't want that. So again, that's how to actually add a user, and that's actually how to set up a runtime security. It's just that simple. And you know, it doesn't have to be real complex and be as sophisticated as most people would think. You can have you know, log in macros, log out macros, but again, I think that's a little overkill for, you know, that's like admins. I mean, that's like really detailed, like stuff that the FDA is like, you know, they're basically having reports done on, and you have to track everything every single day. You know, 90% of the industry is not, you know, tracking stuff. So you need to have it just as simple as you need to have it, but still have the actual security that you need for your systems, right? So this is one way to set up the security and have it 100% secure on your PanaView Plus application. So we'll go ahead and conclude that video, and we'll pick up and start talking about other features in the actual system, actually come back and talk about HMI tags and stuff like that, and go through, and then most likely lead into some other features before we actually start doing the display as far as that goes. So again, that was how to add a user, and I hope you got a lot out of that. A lot of people get kind of confused with tying the two together, you know, down here and up here. A lot of times it's not very obvious what to do. So hopefully that kind of tied the two together, and it made it real easy and successful for you. And again, we'll use that user later, so this will make a lot more sense, and I'll refer back to this. So don't worry about it. We will actually see this again and see this in process again. So we'll carry on to the next video, and I really do again appreciate your support and you being part of this course. So thank you again.